also in the midst of writing a book. So then I'm feeling like this total fraud. I'm over here telling people, motivating people to, tackle their spaces when they can. I always wanted to be coming from a space of truth, which is why in this book, this is here for when you can do it.
Hello, hello, Heal Squad. It's going to be a great day. You know why? Because we're going to get organized today. We have an amazing guest today. You guys are going to love her. I'm so excited to dig in. But first, let's start with our quote of the day. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter the money or fame. Everyone needs organization in their life. It's less about gifting people organization and more about giving people back their time. And that's from Ría Safford, our guest today. So excited to have her here today. Friends, thank you for the beautiful reviews. They keep us going. If you haven't left one, just go to the summary of this episode, click on the link, and it will take you right there, along with our merch link for our, as I call it, our accountability partners. Get your Heal Squad merch so you can remember you're on the journey. And we all bump into each other in airports, and it's fun to see each other with the merch on. One thing I have to mention, Macy's.com/Heal Squad. You guys know Macy's has been a longtime supporter of this show. You remember I've got a long history with Macy's as an employee myself. But they have a new brand called On 34th that I have really been enjoying. It's designed for women like us who are on the go and kind of need things to mix and match seamlessly through our day. So, whatever you're wearing at 11 o'clock has to still be appropriate for 7 o'clock. So check out the pics that I have on Macy's.com/Heal Squad and maybe find something new to update your closet with, right? That's always a fun thing to do. I am going to introduce our guest now, guys, because I just can't wait to get into this. So Ría Safford isn't just a successful entrepreneur, but also a Cuban-American mom of 3. She is the founder and CEO of Reorganize, a company that's transforming lives through the power of organization, design, and space planning for families all across the U.S. Ría believes that the state of your home has a profound impact on your mentality. Absolutely. A philosophy that she's put into practice while organizing spaces for A-list clients like Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Ciara, Jen Atkin, Chrissy Teigen, James Charles, and Paris Hilton. But it wasn't always like this for Ría, and this is what I love about her. Her journey began with a sense of overwhelm that many new parents can relate to as she embarked on a journey of motherhood. The mess in her house started accumulating. I know it well. And she knew she had to do something to change. Her desire to reduce stress and spread her organizational wisdom to others facing similar challenges led her to start Reorganize. And we are so excited to have her here today. She has her new book, The Organized Home for New Parents, which I am very much a fan of because I'm very much in need of. So, Ría, welcome to Heal Squad. You're going to heal us from our disorganization today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat.
I'm so excited to chat. So, your story is inspirational because as someone who really struggles with organization, I really work really hard. I really try hard, and I always have. But then every so often, my husband will come in and he's like, I just feel so bad for you. And he'll clean my office, and he one time he cried.
Okay, yay for amazing husband award.
Yeah, he felt so bad. And he had the same moment with me today, not even realizing you were here today. And he's like, so I went through your stuff because last night we had come home and, we had gotten all these new gifts for the baby from friends. And I'm like, where am I going to put all this stuff? There's books and books and books. I've already got shelves of books. And now I've got more shelves of books that just came. I've got toys, and then I'm realizing I have drawers that are labeled doesn't fit anymore because I needed a place to put them. So for me, everything has to have a place, even stuff that you need to trash. And I have a closet full of stuff that, how many bunny, little things can you have? Mm-hmm. Those little,
like loveys.
The loveys.
Yeah.
How many loveys can I have? So I put them in the closet because I'm going to donate to Baby. And then there's stuff that I want to ship to Connecticut for when our house someday is finished back there. And so I'm a hot mess. But what I love is you started as a hot mess. So there's hope. That's where I'm trying to get to, guys. There's hope for all of us. If you're in your car listening and you're thinking my home is a freaking mess, there's hope.
And this will make you feel a lot better. Not only did I start as a hot mess, I still am one today.
Oh my God, I love you even more.
So there is hope for everybody. And I always explain that I have the brain of like 90% of my clients. That is why my approach is different. You know, a lot of organizers you'll see and meet, it's like, oh my gosh, I knew you would become that. That's just been you since day one. I became a professional organizer and my college friends were laughing their ass off. They're like, wait, girl, like you were the one that we were shoving all of your stuff in the closet. If we were having people over, what do you mean you're like teaching people this professionally? But so much of it came down to prioritizing organization. And that is what I preach over and over and over again. It's not as much not knowing how to do it when you're ready to do it. It's making it a priority like any other lifestyle change. And it wasn't until getting married, excuse me, and having my first daughter, and that really happened like on top of each other, that I had to make changes. And prioritizing organization made such a difference for me that this light bulb of, okay, if I can help me, which truly I thought it wasn't possible, then this has to be able to help other people that feel like me. And that's why even with the book, I wanted to show a quote unquote mess on the front cover. I didn't want this perfect nursery. I wanted blankets being pulled out of a drawer by the baby. But that, like, you know,
you should see my baby room right now because I want her to be elevated. She has a little bit of like congestion. We have 2 books. I think Dr. Jill Carnahan's book is one. I don't know the other one on, you know, because I don't have time to figure out elevating her crib. We bought some, but they were too big. Like, so they elevated too high. Anyway.
Shoving under, that does just the same.
Yeah.
Cheaper. It's like using a pool noodle once they're toddlers and then covering with a sheet so they don't roll off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it makes a little barrier. Yeah.
You're going to teach
all
us all
kinds
the tricks.
of kinds of little tricks and hacks.
That's so funny. Okay, so you wanted it to look messy so people could understand.
I wanted people to see the book and see themselves. I wanted them to see, okay, wait, so I can have a baby or a child who's, you know, making a mess of the space and be organized. I'm a hot mess and I'm organized. Those things are not mutually exclusive.
So here's the thing. I think that I came to this realization recently that I was a hot mess, but I was organized because someone said to me, I don't know if it was a psychic, but they were like, you are organized. You are. And I'm like, no, but I'm not. And so I think that, and I also don't have Earth in my chart. Have you done your astrology chart?
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to do your astrology chart immediately.
Okay, doing it right after this.
Okay, so Deb Silverman has been on the show many times. She's amazing. I mean, there's so many really great ones, but we love Deb. Deb sat with me and she told me like I was all air and water. I didn't have Earth. Earth is organization. You want Earth people in your life because they do
what if I don't have
spreadsheets.
Earth?
But then you'd be an anomaly again because they're the ones who are great at spreadsheets and Excel and all those things that are going to be obsolete yesterday because of AI. But anyway, those people, Heather's in the booth. Heather, I bet you're that person. You're good at spreadsheets. You're good at Excel. You're Earth. Yep, she's nodding. Heather's a new team member.
We like to say Earth.
Earth. Yeah. And Kelsey, who was on the show before, Kelsey, no Earth too. Like the two of us were 2 peas in a pod. So when I started hiring people, I was like, we don't need more of us. We got enough bright, happy personality, whatever.
Creative.
We need some grounding.
Yes.
And you need those Earth people. So I bet if you did the astrology charts of all the people who work for Reorganize, they're all Earth.
All Earth. And I'm the same. I really am this weird mix of both creative and spreadsheet. In my life growing up, my room was always crazy. You know, my car was always a mess, but my schoolwork, immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that I kept my backpack, the way that I kept my desk, you know, oh my gosh, the highlighting, my planners. I've saved all of my planners because they were just
Me too.
gold.
No, but I was like that too. And honey, I know you're going to find it really hard to believe. I had my planners, my room, I would reorganize it all the time. I'd shift it around because I needed new, you know, energy. I would clean it, reorganize it. Everything was organized. I was very anal about stuff. And my book bag was not a mess like my purse is today. My purse today is a shit show every day. No matter how hard I try. He went through it yesterday. He's like, you poor thing.
Does it bother you? Like your
Yes,
purse? Does your
yes,
purse bother you?
Yes, and I think it's the basis of my stress, and I didn't realize it till Kevin said it this morning. We had a channeler that I did a session with, and the person he channeled, his biggest thing to me was that my biggest problem is I need to get organized, and then my life will get better.
That's amazing.
And I mean, I wrote my first book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life. If you really look at it, it's really about how to organize your life, because I try so hard, and I do. I used to organize my jeans, like wide leg, skinny, comfy, just at home, like I had, so I would just be able to grab and go easily. I've always tried, but it's hard to maintain. Like if you go into my office right now, you're going to be like, you poor thing. There's just shit everywhere. I try. I can't keep up.
But it isn't a one and done thing. And I think that, even when we go in and professionally do it for our clients, there could be this misconception that once, the reorganized team comes in, like, that's my house, that's my new way of living, that's how it's going to stay.
Because you got to keep it like that.
You have to keep showing up. If you start a new nutrition plan and you eat amazing day 1, you're going to have to do it day 2, day 3. If you're starting to exercise, you have to keep showing up. It's not going to do it for you. And I feel like that's where I can relate so much, is that when I fall behind, it all starts to pile up. I'm my best self when I'm chipping away at laundry every single day so that it's not loading up in my laundry room.
Yeah.
Sundays, I'm freaking over it. And we go 4 or 5 days and then it's all insane. And I just have to reset. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not working. But certain things, you were saying you were folding your jeans. We've had clients that they were hanging their jeans and then we realized, okay, wait, but you keep folding them even though you were trying to hang them. And so let's figure out what your habits are. And I think the more that you're looking at truly what you're doing, whether it's what you're supposed to be doing, but how Maria does it.
Work with you, not against you.
Yes. And your home should be a reflection of your habits. I had a client who was always doing her nails down in her kitchen. So why are we keeping her nail tote up in her bathroom upstairs? Because she would do her nails in her kitchen. It would stay at the bottom of her stairs. It would never make its way up. And she was just starting these little cycles throughout her whole house.
Ooh, I've never heard someone say all of this.
Just a little
maybe
nugget.
That's why you're so good at this. Okay. So working with you, not against you. I like that, because my kitchen counters is another point of contention. I want them to be clear. My husband wants them to be clear. We were just in the Bahamas with people who have them clear, and he coveted them. We come home and you've got my AquaTrue water filter, you've got all my supplements, you've got the dog stuff, you've got everything. If I don't see my supplements, I will forget, because the baby will cry for food. I'll go feed the baby or I'll do this and then I'll forget. I just won't remember. So they have to be on the counter. So yesterday in the mail from Amazon came a basket that I ordered, and I put the basket on the counter so at least they'd be hidden in the basket but pretty. But why can't my brain work with the cabinet above and just pull it down from the cabinet? I don't know. But honey, you're looking at me and I'm telling you it won't work.
It will work.
No, it won't. I've tried.
Phase 2 is the basket now goes in the cabinet.
There was a basket. There still is a basket in the cabinet. I wouldn't pull it down.
And it's assessing all the routines. So I'm very much the same. Like if I don't have my medicine somewhere where it makes sense, I'm not going to remember to take it. I have undiagnosed but self-diagnosed ADHD. I'm like 1,000% sure. Like I'm all over the place. And thinking into what my habits are. So, I mean, I will never go a day in my life without coffee, period. I know that about myself. So when I have coffee in the morning, my drawer that has the sugar, that's where I kept my medicine. It was still out of sight, but it was part of my morning routine, so it wasn't going to get away from me.
Genius.
Am I just changing lives right now?
You are changing lives. Yes. I love this.
Yes.
Okay. So I could go without the coffee because there's a new coffee place down the street that I very much enjoy. And so,
But what are you going to every day? Because I do this too. So I have
What
to
am I
take
going
si-
to?
I
You keep
have-
your supplements by your face wash. Who says supplements have to be in your kitchen? It could be in your bathroom.
I do keep my nighttime ones there. So I have nighttime and I have morning.
Okay.
So I keep the nighttime. Of course, last night I forgot them, but I shifted them closer to the face wash. They were kind of off to the side last night, and that's why I missed them. So I moved them closer to the face wash. I wish the face wash could just sit in the cabinet below, but certain things I won't do unless I see them.
Same.
So I leave them out.
But there's a way to
Frustrating.
have it out in an organized fashion to just make yourself feel better. So I have a stackable solution on my counter, and on the top is where I have my face wash, and it's all my daily routine items.
Yeah.
It doesn't look crazy when it's all put away, but I'm the same. If things are behind cabinets and under
Yeah.
drawers,
That's why I changed my actual closet to open rather than doors, because had one little open closet where I used to hang things that just came from like dry cleaning. And I realized I would only work from
that's
there.
all you're wearing.
So it was all I was wearing. So then I opened up my closet, took off the doors, and now I'm really happy. But I think there's another problem that we all face. Like everyone's probably got an electric toothbrush at this point, right? It's on your counter.
Right,
I
I'm
hate
sure
the
everyone
cords.
has one. Maria.
No, a lot of people do, boo. A lot of people do.
Oh,
Many
yes.
do.
Yeah, so you're a dinosaur. That's fine.
Can
so
we,
keep
can we go
yourself.
to the booth?
I'm a dinosaur.
Does anyone
too.
in the booth have an electric
And
toothbrush?
the way Maria's asking, she's not going to slice your throat if you
I
don't
will
have
not
one.
embarrass you publicly.
I have one, and Dylan has one even.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
What about Heather?
Heather
okay.
does not.
Thank you,
Heather is a dinosaur like Kevin.
So everyone today has it's so we can just push back on
No,
that,
but
that
let me
many people
finish.
today.
Many people, perhaps people have this issue, Ria. By the way, everyone called me Ria growing up.
Okay, I love that.
That's
Everyone
so
thinks
funny.
my name is short for Maria.
Oh, that's so cute.
So look at that.
So I also have like my iPhone charger on there. I just hate all the cords. Is there a solution for the cords?
So even like there are bins that are made that have slits in the back for the cords, similar to what like the same thing you did for your supplements of, okay, you just
Little
want to
basket
hide them
thing.
but make it look good. But there are bins that close also that you can slide cords in. You can even get baskets, and most cords can slide through the like woven areas of it if all of those things needed to live on your counter.
Got it.
But I think always look at the big picture of your whole space. Just because you've always put a charger right here, okay, is this the best place for this charger? If this cord is bothering me, is there another place it could be? Assessing all of your options.
Yeah.
Just because you've been doing something the same way doesn't mean that that is the most efficient way for you. And I think that that's what gets me the most excited about getting to work with different people, getting to talk with different people like yourself, is if anything I'm saying or doing gives you a couple extra minutes in your day, that's a success. An organization is really, I mean, it's up to you to determine if you're organized or not. If you feel like you're disorganized because you're losing time in your day searching for things, then how can we cut that time?
Okay. I don't feel like I'm searching for things. I feel like I'm highly organized, but I feel like I don't have enough time to keep up with the cleanup, like the maintenance every day. And then it piles up in my office, packages, things I don't know what to put, where to put, paper, mail, things like that. It's very frustrating.
Yes. And I noticed that a lot with different influencers and celebrities that we work with. There's this influx of stuff. Like I get like a package every 4 weeks, and I'm like, this is so hard to maintain. This like influx of mail, but it's amazing how much you really have to go through. And you need to have systems within that, like all these little micro systems of, okay, this is what the incoming package system looks like. And you really do have to train yourself to make those a habit. So let's talk about the nursery gifts,
Yes.
because that's something that I address in the book as well. That is really stressful how much you get. I mean, and it's amazing. Everybody,
so amazing.
and people are so kind and so sweet, and you know they want to celebrate you and celebrate your baby and be a part of this journey, and it's all well and good. But you're the one that has to deal with all of this and make sense of it. And so knowing before you even open any gifts, which I know you're already in the midst of it, really understanding your needs before you're even seeing what is sent to you. And when you can cross-check, you know, you can be a spreadsheet girl just for this moment of, okay, let me make this little list, little notes in your phone of all the things that you know you still need for your baby and for this phase of your life. And then when you receive those things, okay, amazing, this is a need. When it's not a need, let's purposefully decide if it is something that should stay. Should it be regifted? There's nothing wrong with regifting. I do not want there to be a stigma around that, because if it's not going to serve you, whoever gave you that gift wants it to serve someone.
Yes.
Regift it. Is there a
Beautiful.
return window? Exchange it for something you want. knowing your plan before it even crosses the threshold of the nursery will make you feel so much better. If you know it is clothes that are absolutely about to fit and it's during the current phase, put them right in the washer. I think the more that you just
That's what I've been
proactively,
doing.
instantaneously do these things, the better. And a drawer, you were saying, I didn't know if it was for the baby or for yourself.
For her.
Okay,
For the baby,
amazing.
yeah, it doesn't
About
fit
that
anymore.
doesn't fit. Let's make it a bin. Let's open that drawer because that is way too accessible for you to put stuff that does not fit. So we're going to have a bin that says you can put does not fit or too small. Too small and a too big bin. And as things are too small, you put them in that bin. When it reaches the top of it, that is your cue. You're donating. You're like, maybe, I give most of my things to my best friend who has a son. So I just know like, okay, I got to go take this over to Paige. And that's just your cue. And having little things that are your cue to do something next will help. Same with incoming mail.
Yeah.
Immediately put it in the trash can if you don't need it. Immediately, put it in a to-do and, pay the bill or call the person. And it's so much easier said than done, obviously. I mean, I'm sure I have a ton of mail on my dining room table right now. But trying to implement these little things will make such a big difference.
Yeah, so in my stages of getting better at this, I've done that even with myself. If there are clothes that I don't like, if it's an outfit or like a shirt that should look good with jeans, and every time I put it on with jeans I don't like it, I put it away. I throw it in the to donate pile. So when my to donate pile gets big, I call, I have them take it, and that's it. So I've been good about that. And with baby incoming, I instantly know what my needs are. I don't have any. We have plenty of everything. So if it's a cute outfit, of course I'm going to keep that because I'll wear it and enjoy it, send pictures to the friend who gave it, and that's great. But if it's like another blanket, if it's another lovey, if it's another stuffed animal, it's going in the to donate pile, and that's what I've done. So, but now that closet is over full and I have to get rid of it, and I did originally start, shut up honey, I did originally start with a Connecticut bin and a to donate bin, and now they've merged because the to donate bin got so big it overflowed into the Connecticut bin. So now I have to go back through it and figure out what I'm going to keep.
And I'm sure you keep telling yourself like, okay, I'll just figure that out later. I'll figure that out later.
And I just don't have time. It's so hard.
Honestly, someone like you that is so scheduled up. I mean, I can already tell just from meeting you this morning, like you are so busy. Put those in your calendar, like block it off. Like you are unavailable because you're going through your Connecticut, and
you're right. I need
honestly,
to do that. You're right.
Prioritize it because it will make you feel so stinking good. Yep. Like hold my calls. I'm donate checking today.
That's a really great idea. I recently put in my like meditate self-care routine for like 7 a.m. Ooh, hello. Sorry, everyone. That's my blood sugar. I recently put that in so that I could get a new routine going. So I feed her and then I go do all that stuff. And I have put in thinking time at noon. Haven't done that yet, but I have put it in, and eventually I will abide by it. But I think I'm going to schedule baby and Maria organization times for once a week so that this stuff doesn't pile up in my calendar for 1 hour. You don't need more than that.
You don't need, and especially the first time is always going to be the most in depth.
Yeah.
And then
I'll do one big clean out.
Yes.
And then I'll do 1 hour after that a week.
I am so freaking excited for you right now.
I'm really excited for me, and I'm excited for the Heal Squad listening because I feel like you just opened up a whole new opportunity for us. Nat, have you ever thought about scheduling an hour to organize yourself?
Never scheduled it, no.
Yeah.
I really need to.
But right, wouldn't that make you feel better?
So much better, because I do. I'm exactly the same. I'm just, busy with work or busy with Dylan. I'm like, oh, I'll get to that. And then I just don't.
And then you just don't. And then the closet piles up and it wears on me. Like everybody. I feel like I wrote, I think in my first book, organization is the key to happiness.
We find time for all of these other things. We find time to make sure we're hydrated, that we're well fed, that we're getting sleep. We are finding out more and more every single day that organization plays such a role on our happiness, like you said, on our mental health. I've gone through a lot of different mental struggles this year. This is the first time that I've admitted to myself and that I've really learned that I was struggling with depression. I was always that person like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. No, nothing brings me down. I'm happy all the time. No, I'm not depressed about anything. And when I was diagnosed with that as well, that was like, oh my gosh. And then looking around at my own home, it was like just this crazy thing I had to figure out of, wow, my home is reflecting my head and vice versa. And I can really tell, where my mind's at by where my space is at. So sometimes it's not even really about the mess that my house is. It's about what's going on with myself. Wow. And it's this even like deeper, introspection and reflection that I need to do of like, okay, why am I just not caring about anything around me right now? And, I've been married for 10 years. I've had children for 8 years, and this was all new territory for me, but it's amazing the role that organization has played in it, and helps me understand, a whole different type of client that we have as well. And it's been really remarkable to learn so much more about that side of it and the connection that it has.
Can I ask you a little bit about that?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you figure out that you might be depressed? Like, what led you down that path? Was it something your husband noticed? Was it something that was just eating at you? Like, how did you get to that place?
It was a little bit of everything. I think, I've let spaces get a little crazy, like bathroom counter, like, I'm the caps off, barely closed cabinets kind of girl. So normally I'm a walking tornado, but I can, get it together really easily. Like, I feel like one person in the relationship is always the gross toothpaste. Like, that's me. And I'm admitting it to everyone. But it was like so far past that. Like, I just had stopped even caring about any of my spaces. Like, I was constantly searching for my kids' stuff. And then, also in the midst of writing a book. So then I'm feeling like this total fraud. I'm like, I'm over here telling people, or, motivating people to, tackle their spaces when they can. Like, I always wanted to be coming from a space of truth, which is why in this book, this is here for when you can do it. But I couldn't really get up in the mornings. Like, it was really bizarre. Like, I would always like be up before my kids and, tidy up things in the morning. And I just had like zero motivation for it, while also feeling all the pressures in the world to be doing everything. Like, this company, Reorganize, this is our whole life. This is what provides for my entire family. And that's a lot. And that's really stressful. And, this book was a whole new venture, and I just wasn't myself at all. And I struggled with postpartum after my first 2 kids, especially. And I didn't think I did after my son. And then just starting to look back at all of it, I'm like, wow, yeah, I was just not myself. Like, you almost feel like you're watching yourself.
And that's a long time to not be yourself.
It's a long time. And I eventually just had this complete, utter breakdown to my husband. It was like at the beginning of this year, I'm like, I'm not right. Like, I don't know if I need to get back on medicine. I had done antidepressants after my first 2 children, and I didn't think I needed it after my son.
We are going to continue on with the conversation, but before we get into our conversation, because I was staring at your hair, Whey is a new supporter of the show. I use Whey, Kevin uses Whey, and I heard you use Whey.
I live for Whey. Body wash, like literally, I mean, every part of my hair and body regimen is Whey.
Really?
No way.
It's the only way.
Oh, that's
Whey.
so funny. So no one knows how to say it because it's Ouai. So I always called it we, but it's Whey. And I first bought it for Kevin because he wanted something to help his hair, kind of like a leave-in conditioner or whatever. So I got him the leave-in conditioner and the oil, and he loved it.
That's amazing.
And so I had it over on his side of the counter. Talk about organization. He likes this stuff out too. So stop.
No, because I
dissing me.
won't use it. No, I won't use it if I don't.
See? And
But a bathroom is different than a kitchen, which is a community place we all congregate in.
okay, great. Good point. But I found myself gravitating over to his when I needed, because my hair would be dry or whatever. And so I would go over there and
so
use
delicious.
his, and it smells so good. And so I started realizing I just kept stealing his. So I had to get my own. But, it's kind of like in all of like the luxury places in LA, I see it now, whether you're at a doctor's office, they have it in the bathroom.
Yes.
What products are you using that you love for your hair?
So I love that there's like the thin hair shampoo and conditioner, because my hair, like post baby, is just thinning like crazy. I also use scalp treatment, body wash. I would kill for Way to come out with kid shampoo and conditioner.
Oh, okay.
Jen, if you're listening,
Okay.
I think that'd be amazing.
So Jen Atkin is the founder of Way. I heard you worked with her in organization too.
Yes,
You did.
she completely changed my life. Like I owe everything to Jen Atkin.
What do you mean?
As far as like the celebrity realm that Reorganize made its way into. This is my favorite story to share. I had just given birth to my son 10 hours before. I'm in the hospital bed. Okay. I get a text from a blue check mark, and I'd never seen a blue check mark in my life. Like this was 2019, kind of when verified was a thing. And it was Jen asking if I would be open to organizing her new house. No clue how she found me. I had not done anybody famous at this point. And I was too scared to say, like, I literally just pushed a child out of me. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I'm there. Let's schedule it. Great. I go mesh panties and all to the consult at her house.
Oh my God.
I was like, so
What
there
winners
for
are
it.
made of.
I was, and then,
You have to listen. I'm all about like taking care of yourself, whatever. But if you're building a business and you get that one crack,
Yep.
that is not the time to say self-care. That's the time to say, let me buckle up and,
Yeah.
and do what I gotta do.
And once she knew my
In my
situation,
opinion.
because I didn't even share it because I wanted to land this. I'm like, if she needs to meet me, then she can know I just had a baby. And she loved me even more for it. 'Cause she's obviously a hustler and
Yeah.
a total boss. And so I think she liked that I approached things that way too. And I did a project for her. It was like my first viral moment. It was all of her beauty products. It was so beautiful.
No way.
It was amazing. And then she has just shared me with everyone. I mean, that turned into Stacy Keebler's home in Jackson Hole. It turned into Chrissy Teigen's pantry, which nearly got me 100,000 followers overnight, that project.
Wow.
People magazine called me. It was crazy. Totally nuts. But she...
Well, Chrissy Teigen's kitchen, I mean, there's nothing bigger
Stunning.
than a kitchen associated with Chrissy because she's got all of her successful cookbooks and
Yes. An incredible, incredible opportunity, especially because she was only going to maybe do a story and she did a grid post. It was like 1.4 million likes. I mean, people from middle school were reaching out to me. I was like the coolest person in the world at that moment. It was awesome. But Jen, we did that house. We've done her new house and she moved. We actually moved her. We've done her
I have a
mom's
question.
home.
Did John Legend get involved with the, the
honey.
I did get to meet him.
like-
I met him, and it was like the day after a Voice party at their house. Like it was like a Voice season finale part. Like there was still like a cake on the counter. I'm like, this is so crazy. But I did get to meet him, but no, he was not involved in the organization.
That's so funny. Well, you guys can also get your fast fix for healthy looking hair if you go to theway.com. So it's theway.com. I have to read it so that I don't screw it up like I did 2 seconds ago. Use Heal Squad, all one word, at checkout for 15% off your first purchase. Like I said, I really love the leave-in conditioner and the oil for my ends. I think it's really, really great, but everything they make is
The
great.
thickening spray. The thickening
Oh, I haven't tried the
spray.
thickening spray.
So good.
Oh, guess who needs the thickening spray?
Yep, right here.
Right over there.
Oh my
This,
gosh, I love it.
and I now, because I am a dadfluencer,
Yes.
it would be a very good product for me to promote.
This would be a great product
Right
for you
next to my
promote.
Dadderall that I'll also be promoting.
Yes.
It's a healthy form of Dadderall. It's still in beta.
All right, friends. So theway.com, TheOuai.com. Use Heal Squad for 15% off. Now we're going to go back into the rabbit hole of depression. So, as you were saying before I had to do my insulin shot, you found things getting really overwhelming
Mhm.
and you broke down to your husband.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I knew that I wanted to get on medication of some sort. Like I needed to know that there was something that could make me feel better. I had felt that I was prioritizing everything and everyone else above myself. And it was kind of that moment of like, I am literally screaming for help. And I need you to also make sure that I'm prioritizing myself in this moment. And I could have easily not shared, publicly or whatever to my followers or anything. And I just wanted other people to know that if they feel this way, one, they too can be organized during this phase or get themselves out of it. And it's just easier for me to be out there. I've always been very open about everything in my life, and it makes me feel a lot better. So I think also sharing that on my social media, I just started to share the real life of what was going on behind the scenes, all while my book is about to come out, which I'm like, that doesn't mean I don't know how to organize. It was hard. And I'm like, I'd rather know that I'm being true to myself and setting a good example for my kids. Like, I'm in a weird place. I'm in a very weird place. And it made finishing the book really hard.
By the way, I've heard that from so many people when they're working on a book, everything shit's hitting the fan. And they have those moments of imposter syndrome and all of that. So much I've heard that from people.
I believe it. I mean, that's how I felt. Like I would literally have to step over things in my office to type about an organized space. I'm like,
that's
who am I? This is so crazy.
But I love the honesty because that's the thing that makes me feel so connected to you, because I know that I'm having those struggles, and to know that someone who does most of the time have it together can relate. You can relate to us, which means you can help us more. That's why I think we learn from people who have gone through the hell of whatever the hell is. We learn from them the most because we feel that connection, we understand each other, and then when there's a trust that's there. But if you're just perfect, it's hard to connect to that.
Yes, and it's just exhausting. And some people maybe are what they portray, but I feel like there's so much BS out there with social media, and it drives me insane. And I would rather people be like, oh my gosh, I see me in her. She's going through this. I have gotten the most response from our Instagram following when I share about these moments. I shared me cleaning up my bathroom and talking about the recently diagnosed depression. I showed me finally tackling my bedroom, the stuff that I had been putting off. I've been showing myself in my own spaces. Like I'm walking the walk, and I have to show up every single day for myself. And I always compare myself to the trainer that lost 100 pounds and kept it off for 15 years. It's like I did have to figure this all out, and I'm still learning things, and I'm still evolving every single day. But it can seem really exhausting, like whether you're figuring out you're depressed or your house has just gotten away from you and you want to make a change. It seems like a really big job to do.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly daunting. And for me, it was the little things. Like, what are little things in my day that I know make me feel really good or, really put together? And I feel like it sounds really cliche, but making my bed in the morning, major. And I know there's like so many different, studies about, making your bed and the importance of that. And it is so true. And I just started recording myself doing these things in my house. I recorded myself cleaning my bathroom. I felt like I owed it to the people watching to do it and to finish it and to share it. And it held me accountable. And I've been getting to share with everybody myself coming out of it while also getting to look back at my own journey. So it's really been this beautiful thing and just a wackadoo year.
So you go to your husband, you break down. What happens from there? You go to the doctor and...
Go to the doctor. And, I'm sharing that I don't know if it's depression. I think I have ADHD. I don't know what's going on. Also, I have mental illness in my family. I have, 2 of my family members are bipolar. That's always been something that I'm like, am I bipolar? Is there more going on with me? Do we need to study me? What is going on? So it's always been something that's made me really anxious. I've had debilitating anxiety since I was 17.
You just white knuckled it.
Yeah. And I think, as adults and as parents, and, I'm sure you guys find it too, when you're seeing, just your day to day and, becoming parents and all of this, like you're learning so much about your own childhood. It's like actually bananas.
1,000,000%.
Yes.
So many weird things come up and I'm like, is that because something happened to me? Like, is this why this is popping up?
I'm convinced everything is like childhood trauma now because of TikTok. Like everything comes up. I'm like, that really does make sense. So it's almost like I handled anxiety a certain way. And then when I left to college, that's really when it got like harder for me. Like I haven't been in an elevator in probably 2 years. I will take the stairs up to like the 16th floor. It's kind of crazy. I know. Like,
wow.
I do things if I truly have to. But even now, it's like I'm still working through stuff. I'm finally over my flight issue. That was a whole thing. I mean, I'd want to like run and jump out of planes because I was like claustrophobic and like
Oof.
a whole thing. Obviously, this is like it was a whole other podcast.
No, but I have to catch myself sometimes on a plane. Sometimes on a plane, I can feel it coming where I'm going to panic about being in this capsule and all of that. And I have to talk myself out of it and shift my mind to something else because I can feel it. I've had it happen where I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be the moment where I won't be able to turn back and get back on a plane again.
It's an incredible feeling because if you haven't experienced true panic, I mean, for me, my throat completely closes up. My heart is beating out of my chest. I'm like, this is how I die. Like it is. I've ripped off a seatbelt before and just like stood up like a crazy person. And I've come a long way.
Wow.
I've come a long, long way. But all this to say that, you know, I've struggled with all of these different things, and a lot of things that I've gone through that have happened were so out of my control. And I'm really starting, it's like, I just had this realization now, 7 years into this profession of, wow, I just wanted things that I could control. I needed something that was on my terms and that I could fix and solve. And
I know, I love fixing and solving.
I love it. And I think I love it so much more for other people than for myself.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it's so much easier to do for everybody else.
It's so much easier. Like I will go to the ends of the earth for other people.
Yep.
And then it all just hit a head this year where it was like, okay, maybe I should prioritize myself.
All right, friends, we're going to leave this right here and come back tomorrow to finish up with Ría. We have so much to go through. We'll see you tomorrow.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Ría Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Ría Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Ría Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.